guys. So, first, right off the top, no, this title is not clickbait. It's not mean in any sort of disrespect whatsoever. I have the utmost respect for Emily Hayward. A lot of you here on my channel probably don't have a clue who Emily Hayward is, or I should say was, but I'm going to explain that. And I'm going to link to her channel down below because even though she may be passed on, I think a lot of people should really watch her content because she was so inspirational just in the way she dealt with everything she went through. I think I've even mentioned her a couple of times on this channel. But basically, the gist of it, Emily was I believe 23 or 24-year-old British woman who had been dealing with melanoma since she was 17, on and off. It had spread through her entire body. It had gone to her liver. It had gone to her bones. It had gone to her brain. It had gone to her lymph nodes. It ravaged this poor girl, and she kept defying the odds over and over and over again, and kept bouncing back from it. And she was documenting her cancer journey here on YouTube and everything, and eventually got the prognosis of being stage 4, which, for those of you who may be on the younger side and haven't had to deal with cancer in your life, either firsthand or a loved one or anything, stage 4 is endgame. Stage 4, I mean, there are rare exceptions to the rule where people have come back from stage 4, but generally at stage 4, you're terminal. You're gonna die. And yet, Emily still kept this most positive outlook on life. She didn't let it get to her. She believed in a positive mentality that if you stay positive, you have control over the disease, which I really wish, like anything, that were true. I mean, it's the whole thing with the positive thinking thing with regards to terminal illnesses is more about the quality of life that you do have rather than you're going to magically be cured of this thing. But she was still even like going to the gym and working out even when she was this sick, and she kicked some serious ass in what all she was still able to do. Just if this girl could at that level be doing that, I don't think any of us have an excuse to not do anything for that matter by saying it's too hard, I can't do it. And she had continued doing it up until, gosh, I want to say maybe even like as recently as a few weeks before she passed. And I have been watching this girl's channel for probably, I want to say about the past year or so. I know a lot of the people who did tribute videos to her said that they'd started watching about 6 months ago, which I think aligned approximately with when she was on the BBC, which I didn't get to see that, as I don't live in England, but apparently that did bring a lot of attention to her channel. When she passed, I believe she, at that point, had 51,000 subscribers on her channel. So, I mean, she wasn't like a celebrity or anything. She was just a normal, everyday person who was just sharing what she was going through with the world, even on the premise of, if she should happen to die, she wanted to document what it's like to go through this. No bullshit, just what it's like. And her particular story, I think, pulled me in and grabbed me in because of the particular course that her illness took. Because it hits very much at home for me, and I'm not trying to make this about me, I'm just saying why I got so invested in this girl that I never met. I think I only even interacted back and forth through comments like a few times. I think I left a lot more comments, but I mean actually getting responses and talking back and forth with just a handful of times was like the only direct interaction I had with her outside of just watching her videos and following her social media accounts. But I had similar, not anywhere near as severely as her, but when I was 14, I had melanoma on my arm. That's what this scar is. I think I've talked about that on this channel before. I also had one on my leg that had to be removed. I hate mentioning it here and now since I've been trying to keep it on the down low. There's another suspicious spot on the same leg currently that's being watched like a hawk as of right now, but knock wood, as of right now, doesn't seem to be anything scary yet. But anyway, but also in my case, it turned into brain lesions and into 2 tumors in 2003 and in 2005. So I bounced back from all of those. But that said, that was the last I had really dealt with it till the thing on my leg more recently. But regardless, that was why hearing the exact combo of things that Emily had dealt with, I was like, oh, fuck. It was almost like not only looking at like a mirror of myself and what I went through as a teenager and in my early 20s, it was also like, this is also a glimpse of what else could have happened had it gone further. And I don't know, it was almost like that whole thing where you can't look away out of morbid curiosity, but at the same time, your heart just goes so out to them and you get so emotionally invested in it. The next thing you know, you're watching every video they put out because you feel like you know this person, even though you've never met them. And because she's gone now, I never will get to meet her. But I felt like I knew her just from watching her every single video that she put up. At least in the past year, I've gone back and watched some of the older ones from before I had found her channel, but, I mean, there's still some old stuff in there that I still have yet to watch, but of the point I started watching, I watched every single video she posted, and that for me is a rarity. There is only a very small handful of people that I watch everything they post. I mean, there's loads of people I'm subscribed to that I watch a good deal of their content, but maybe I could probably count on my hands the number of creators that I watch everything from. And Emily was one of those. And when she got the prognosis this most recent time around, and was told that basically, if there's anything you feel very strongly about doing, you need to do it in the next 2 weeks. Oh my god, I just got really, like, even more emotionally invested in all of it at that point, but she went on and she proposed to her longtime girlfriend that incidentally she met because of said illness. There was like a story about how they met on her channel, which again, I'm gonna link it down below. Please go watch her channel. It's a combo of the most heartbreaking thing, but at the same time, the most inspiring thing. I don't know. But there was a video where she talked about that. I don't want to screw up her story, so I would just recommend going and finding that video instead. But she ended up marrying her, there was a wedding vlog, and she then defied the odds further because they had only expected her to live like a couple weeks up to that point. And 2 months later, she was still here, and she was basically kicking ass and taking names, and in my heart of hearts, I wanted to believe that she was going to defy the odds. She was going to prove them wrong yet again. She was gonna kick its ass. She was gonna get better. And then there was, like, this turning point where you could basically see the light starting to go out in her eyes, practically. I would say right at the end, but I mean, more pronouncedly than yeah, but even before that, I would say around the time that they told her that the radiation she had on her brain hadn't done as much as they'd hoped and that it had grown more. It seemed like around that time, something changed, and you could just see her demeanor starting to shift. And as the vlogs suddenly weren't daily anymore, they started getting more sparse, they started getting shorter, I started to feel it in my gut that she's not gonna pull out of this, is she? I mean, logically, I knew that, I mean, she was constantly mentioning she is terminal. I mean, obviously, I logically knew that this is a thing, and yet I wanted to believe that she was just gonna defy those odds. And she didn't. There was a point where she eventually got too weak to go to the gym anymore, but before that, it was like a day or two after she got married that, like, she couldn't feel, like, one side of her body. She could move it, she just couldn't feel it, and that was kind of the moment that I was like, oh, fuck. It was just like, it hit me that, yeah, that's not good. Once that starts happening, you kind of know. But, and then more recently, her speech started getting affected. When your speech gets affected by it, I mean, I hate to be Miss Debbie Downer here, but once the speech starts to go, it usually isn't long. And I recognized it a mile away. I was like, no, 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 no. I really, 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 really wanted to believe there would be another outcome here. And that somehow she would just magically bounce back again, like she'd done so many times before. It just wasn't the case. And then she got that one last results that she did a vlog on. They had put the camera in the room while she was getting the results. And I forget if it was her last video or her second to last video, but you could tell she was deflated. As of that moment, it was almost like she consciously gave up. I mean, I don't want to say she intentionally gave up, but it seemed almost like it had gotten to her, and she knew that there's no coming back from this, and kind of was giving herself permission to let go. And then that last video, I'm trying not to start in again. Yeah, I have no shame admitting that I actually cried a lot over this, and started crying multiple times since then, but, her last video was entitled, Cancer Can't Get Any More Emotion Out of Me. And I was really, really, really hoping that maybe she was just having a rough day, but I could tell, just not just in her demeanor, but in Aisha's demeanor, her wife, that something very drastically had taken place here. Something was wrong, and I just between that and her dog was like following her everywhere. It just, animals know, man, and it seemed pretty clear that they knew. I don't think any of us know the specifics of the exact day she passed, but there was an Instagram post that I believe she wrote before she actually passed, and had probably Aisha post it for her. I'm gonna bring it up. I actually was unaware that this had gone up until one of my friends from the lip balm community had actually messaged me on Twitter and asked if I'd heard about Emily, and I hadn't, and she told me that she had read, I forget if she said she'd read on Twitter or on Instagram that she'd passed away. And I hadn't, and that was first set of bawling, but this was the picture that was posted to her Instagram. I'm trying to tilt it a little bit so it doesn't get all weird, because if I tilt it like that, yeah, but she was so pretty. But the post was, and I can practically hear it in her voice reading it, which also makes me choke up more, but what's going on, guys? After 8 long years of kicking cancer in the ass, my body got tired. I achieved everything I wanted to and more. With all my loved ones around me, I have now peacefully left you all. Thank you for all your love and support, but most of all, thank you for always following my journey and believing in me. Love you all. Peace, M. That just broke my heart on so many levels. And then her wife left a comment in it too, said, "I love you so much, Em. You are my soulmate. You are my everything I ever wanted. You may not be here, but you will be in my heart forever. So proud of you, beautiful. I love you." Yeah. Yeah. I'm pretty sure anyone who was invested in her journey could not have possibly read that without getting choked up. Actually, I'm trying real hard not to, but that post, every single time I've read it since then, I've cried all over again. It still doesn't feel real. I mean, part of me wishes there would just be one last video, just anything, even if it's just Aisha giving one last update on things, even though, I mean, we have our closure right there, but I mean, I just feel like maybe just one last thing, even if nothing is ever added to the channel ever again after that, just one last thing. Especially for the people who don't use other social media accounts and have no idea and are kind of just left hanging. Um, it'd be nice so they'd have the closure, but I was kind of shocked at how many of my friends came out of the woodwork that apparently were also following this, that I had no idea I even knew who Emily was, and just wow. And I mentioned something about it. My dad was like, "Wait, does this girl have a name?" I was like, "Her name was Emily." It was like, "Emily what?" And I was like, "Emily Hayward." And he said, "Oh, so that's what all my friends are posting about on Hayward or on Facebook today." I was like, "Really?" Like, apparently even like with his demographic, they were following it too. I was like, this girl's story was freaking so far-reaching and just touched so many lives, and I just have this belief that everyone is put here for a specific purpose, and as depressing as it probably sounds, I feel like for some people to meet that purpose, their lives are cut short to be able to fulfill that purpose. Like in Emily's case, I feel like she never would have reached that many people necessarily had she gotten to live to ripe old age. I mean, she probably, well, I shouldn't say probably, but she might not have ever started a channel. She might not have ever inspired so many people had it not been for what she had to go through, you know? Um, but I mean, it just warms my heart seeing how many people have come out of the woodwork saying how inspired they all were by her, and the thing they'll miss most is just her outlook on life, which I 100% agree on. I just, wow. um, just, I would rewatch some of those videos in really low moments just to keep myself going sometimes, in 100% honesty here. It's crazy to me how this person I never even met in real life, this person that I didn't personally know, I only knew her from her channel, could make such an impact, not only on me, but on so many people. Just as a regular, everyday person, not a celebrity by any means, and just, there's something very beautiful about that, I feel. And, I mean, it breaks my heart that she had to go through everything that she went through. Although, knowing that she's not hurting anymore, she's finally not having to wrestle with this after 8 years of having to go through this nonstop. I mean, there's something to be said for her finally not having to suffer anymore. Um, and just, I have a lot of mixed emotions, and I intentionally held off on posting a vlog about this because I didn't want it to look like I was just cashing in on Emily's name, or that it's clickbait, or this, that, or the other, that apparently a lot of people who have posted any kind of video about her since her passing have been receiving, so just know if you try to leave any negative comments down below, I will just delete them, so you may as well just save your breath. But, yeah, not gonna lie, I am really broken up over this. I just and then seeing that one, not Snapchat, but Instagram Live, or was it an Instagram Live? I don't even know, Instagram story, that's the word I'm looking for, that Aisha posted just like a day or two after the announcement of Emily's passing. I can't even say after she passed because I don't know for sure if that was the day she passed or not, but after the announcement came out, Aisha posted a short little video snippet of her in the gym, just with the caption that, I think it was something along the lines of, "This workout's for you, Em," and it was like, oh, God, I love them so much, and just feeling like a train wreck over it all over again, but, you know, as you do, but I think she's only posted one story since then, and that one had nothing to do with Emily or any of that, but yeah, any details beyond that post have apparently been kept very, very hush-hush and quiet, which, I mean, I respect the family's privacy. I'm not digging for info, just saying that it's very quiet, but I feel so bad for Aisha, though, like, oh my god, like, imagine being in her shoes right now. Being that young, having found the love of your life, having been very quickly married to them, getting 2 wonderful months of being married with them, and then they die. I mean, they both had a very beautiful outlook on life. But I mean, at the same time, you can't kid yourself. You know, that poor girl has got to be so shattered right now. Like, I mean, if I think I'm, as a complete outsider, this broken up over, I can only imagine how devastated she's got to be. And I think I've posted to all her social media accounts that all of us are definitely here if she needs anything. I mean, it probably sounds like empty words coming from a total stranger, but I mean, there's still something to be said when you lose a loved one. Just when you lose a loved one, just knowing that there's people out there that do care about you. It does mean a lot, and I say this speaking as somebody who has lost a good deal many loved ones in my life, so that is a thing. But yeah, it's just still hitting me, even though, I mean, like I said, I have cried multiple times over this. It's the reality is still sinking in that she's not coming back. There aren't going to be any more Emily videos as of this point, which, I mean, sounds so stupid and so shallow, I know, but I really, really, really wanted to believe she was gonna get better. I mean, for somebody to be able to be that sick and still working out at the gym and doing hard workouts, I thought for sure if anybody had a fighting chance of getting better, it was gonna be her. So, the fact that she didn't just, it's hurting my heart a lot. And just, things like this do put you in some kind of an existentialist spiral, I suppose, but I'm trying not to go there, but it's hard not to let my brain go there at least a little tiny bit, but yeah, I mean, there is that Billy Joel song. I mean, don't take this the wrong way. I don't mean it in any kind of disrespectful way. I don't mean it in any kind of making light of a situation way, but I mean, that song, Only the Good Die Young, it does seem like there's some freaking truth to that. Like, no freaking joke. It does seem like there's something to it. But, anyway, I just, I'm kind of out of words. I had so much more I wanted to say here in my brain. It's just, I really should have jotted them down so I at least wouldn't just be fishing for the words that I know I want to say here. I am the worst just speaking in the moment, especially when I'm emotional, but yeah, but I did feel like because I've been so invested in this that it definitely merited a vlog all of its own. Because I know I'm not the only one, even amongst my friends, who was this invested in it. So if you guys were too, you know what? We will rally together. We will lean on each other. We'll get through this. But you just let me know that you were invested in it too. We'll talk. But anyways, that is about it for this one. So I think I'm just gonna go ahead and wrap this video up and pull myself together, get back to filming my normal videos as you do. So, see ya.